There is a phase in trading that nobody celebrates, a phase nobody posts screenshots about, a phase that quietly breaks more traders than bad strategies ever will. This phase is not talked about enough because it's uncomfortable, because it's humbling, because it exposes everything wrong with how most people think about money. Yet every consistently profitable trader you admire, every trader whose lifestyle you want, every trader who truly understands the market has passed through this phase. Not some version of it, not a lighter form of it, all of it. And today, we're talking about that phase. The phase where nothing works. This phase begins right after excitement dies. You've learned the basics. You understand support and resistance. You know what entries and stop losses are. You've watched countless videos. You feel informed. But suddenly, the market stops cooperating. Trades that should work don't. Setups you trusted start failing. Confidence begins to leak. You're doing everything right, yet results don't reflect it. This is where frustration begins. And most traders mistake this moment as failure. But this phase is not failure. It is exposure. The market is exposing how shallow your understanding still is. The confusion phase. During this phase, confusion becomes constant. One day your strategy works perfectly. The next week, it collapses. So you adjust indicators. You change time frames. You watch new videos. You add complexity. But nothing stabilizes. You begin asking dangerous questions. Is Forex even real? Is the market manipulated? Am I just unlucky? And slowly, doubt creeps in. Not doubt in the market, doubt in yourself. This phase is painful because effort feels unrewarded, and humans hate uncertainty. The phase of small losses that feel huge. This is where psychology starts bleeding. Losses aren't massive, but they feel personal. A 1R loss feels like proof you're not good enough. A losing streak feels like confirmation that success isn't for you. You start watching the charts emotionally. You hesitate on entries, you move stops. You close winners too early. Not because you don't know better, but because fear now has a voice. This phase teaches you something brutal. Knowing rules is not the same as trusting them. The ego death phase. This is one of the most painful moments in a trader's journey. The moment you realize you are not special. The market does not care, and effort alone means nothing. Your ego wants control. The market offers probability. Your ego wants certainty. The market gives randomness. This is where traders either mature or quit, because to move forward, you must let go of being right. And that hurts. The lonely phase. Here is something no one tells you. This phase is lonely. Friends don't understand trading. Family thinks you're wasting time. Social media shows only wins. Meanwhile, you're quietly battling your own mind. No applause, no encouragement, just charts and silence. This is where discipline is built or destroyed. The phase where you question everything you begin to question. Your strategy, your mentor, your goals, your patience. You wonder if success stories are lies. You wonder if profitable traders are just lucky. This is dangerous because the market isn't testing your intelligence here. It's testing your identity. The shift most traders never make. Most traders stay stuck here because they try to fix results. But profitable traders fix behavior. They stop chasing dopamine. They stop forcing trades. They stop trading to feel something. Instead, they begin focusing on execution quality, risk consistency, emotional neutrality. They accept boredom. They accept waiting. They accept that progress is invisible before it compounds. The phase where losses stop hurting. This is a quiet turning point. Losses still happen, but they no longer shake you. Because risk is controlled. Because expectations are realistic. Because identity is shifted. You stop thinking like a gambler. You start thinking like a risk manager. And suddenly, clarity appears. The moment everything slows down, charts no longer feel chaotic. You stop chasing every move. You trade less, but better. You realize you don't need more trades. You need better patience. This is the phase where confidence becomes calm, not loud. Why this phase is necessary? This painful phase exists to filter people. The market does not reward hope. It does not reward excitement. It does not reward impatience. It rewards discipline. This phase removes ego. It removes emotional dependency. It removes fantasy. Only what's real survives. The truth about successful traders, they didn't avoid this phase. They survived it. They learned to sit in discomfort. They learned to execute without emotion. They learned to execute without emotion. They learn to think in probabilities, and that's why they win. The phase where time feels wasted, there comes a moment when you look back and ask yourself a painful question. How long have I been doing this, and what do I really have to show for it? Months pass, sometimes years. You've invested time, you've invested energy, you've invested belief, but externally nothing has changed. This is where the pain intensifies. Because the human brain is wired to expect visible reward for effort, and trading does not obey that rule. This phase teaches you a brutal lesson. Progress in trading is invisible before it becomes obvious. You are not building money yet, you are building judgment. And judgment takes time. The phrase of comparison. This is where social media becomes poison. You see screenshots, you see profits, you see traders claiming daily wins. And quietly, a voice inside you whispers, "Why not me?" Comparison destroys patience. You forget that you are seeing highlights, not process. You forget that every profitable trader once sat exactly where you are. This phase tempts you to rush, to force trades, to increase risk, to chase validation. But the market punishes impatience ruthlessly. The phase where discipline feels boring early on, excitement fuels you. But now, discipline feels dull. Waiting for setups feels slow. Not trading feels unproductive. Sitting on your hands feels pointless. This is where many traders sabotage themselves. They confuse activity with progress. But the market rewards restraint. Professional traders do not trade often, they trade selectively. Boredom is not a problem. Boredom is proof that emotions are no longer driving decisions. The phase where you realize you are the problem. This realization hurts. You finally understand that the market isn't against you. The strategy isn't broken. Luck isn't missing. Your behavior is inconsistent. Your execution lacks discipline. Your patience collapses under pressure. This is where responsibility shifts inward, and growth begins only when excuses end. The phase of radical honesty. Here, traders either lie to themselves or evolve. You start journaling honestly. You stop blaming the market. You document emotions, not just entries. You notice patterns. You overtrade after losses. You hesitate after wins. You break rules when bored. And for the first time, trading becomes psychological work, not technical work. The phase where confidence dies and rebels properly. False confidence dies first. The kind built on wins. The kind built on hype. The kind built on ego. That confidence must be destroyed. In its place, something quieter forms. Confidence built on risk control, process trust, repetition. This confidence doesn't celebrate wins, it respects execution. The phase where you stop trying to be impressive. You no longer want big wins. You want clean trades. You want consistency. You want predictability. You want emotional neutrality. This is where traders mature. They stop trading to feel powerful. They trade to stay solvent. The phase where you realize losing is part of winning. This is a major psychological breakthrough. You stop fearing losses. Not because you like them, but because they no longer threaten your identity. Losses become data, nothing more. And when fear disappears, clarity returns. The phase where patience becomes a weapon. You no longer chase markets. You let them come to you. You wait for alignment. You wait for confirmation. You wait for your edge. And because most traders cannot wait, you now have an advantage. The phrase where small edges start adding up. Nothing explodes, nothing goes viral. But slowly, your drawdowns shrink. Your execution improves. Your equity curve smooths. This phase is quiet, but it is powerful. The phase where you trade less and earn more. This confuses beginners, but it makes sense. Less emotion, less exposure, higher quality. Professional trading is minimalistic. The phase where identity shifts completely. You stop saying, I hope this trade works. You start saying, this trade fits my plan. Hope disappears. Process remains. Why most traders never reach this point? Because this phase demands humility, patience, consistency, self-control, and most people want excitement. The market rewards maturity, the final truth about the painful phase. This phase exists to strip you down. It removes ego, illusion, fantasy. What remains is discipline, and discipline compounds. If you are here right now, you are closer than you think, not because profits are coming tomorrow, but because you are no longer naive, and naivety is expensive. If you are currently in this painful phase, you are not broken. You are not stupid. You are not failing. You are being shaped. Most people quit here because it hurts. But those who stay, those who adapt, those who endure become dangerous in the market. Because once you survive this phase, very little can shake you again. If you like this video, kindly like, subscribe, and comment.